Blackburne and Wilhelm Steinitz, who was the first world champion. Joseph Henry Blackburne is nicknamed the Black Death. I don't know why he was nicknamed the Black Death, probably just because of his last name. He learned how to play chess at the age of 18, and the only reason he learned how to play chess is because he learned of Paul Morphy and his conquering of Europe. But when he was a kid, he played draughts, which checkers. And but this game was, and well, 3 years after Blackburne learned how to play chess, he entered this London tournament in 1862, and he only got ninth place, but he still beat Wilhelm Steinitz in a game. But this game was played in 1883, and Steinitz only won his world championship title 3 years after this game was played. But most people considered him to be the world champion even before he won the world championship. But let's go ahead and see the game. Starts off with e4. We have e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, knight to c3, the three knights opening, and Steinitz goes for the Steinitz defense with g6. We have d4, e takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop g7, bishop b3, knight to f6, and bishop b2. We have castles, knight e7, and bishop to f3. Most people would play f4 in this position, but he plays bishop to f3, which is still playable. We have d6, queen to d2, with the idea of coming here to exchange this bishop on g7. So we have knight to d7, bishop to h6, we have knight to e5, bishop takes g7, king takes g7, and bishop e2. He doesn't want to trade off his light squared bishop for the knight on e5. We have f6, f4, kicking with the knight, knight to f7, rook a to d1, c6, bishop c4. And this bishop will actually come into play attacking on this diagonal. We have bishop d7, and bishop takes f7. Removing one of the defenders of, well, it wasn't a defender of the e6 square, but you'll see the e6 square comes into play. We have rook takes f7 and f5, immediately going for the attack. We have knight c8. You don't really want to capture, because after knight captures, you don't really want to capture here with the bishop, or he would even consider capturing with the rook, and then if the bishop captures, then the knight could jump to e6 with the fork on the king and queen. So we have e5, f takes e5, knight takes e6 check, forcing the bishop to capture because it's forking the king and queen. So we have bishop takes e6, f takes e6, and rook e7. And we have queen g5, immediately going for the attack. We have queen e8, and Steinitz is attacking this e6 pawn twice, and it's undefendable. But we have rook d3 with the idea of coming to h3. We have rook takes e6 and rook h3. We have queen e7. Steinitz, of course, wants to trade queens, but we have queen h6 check, king g8, and in this position, the idea is to check the king and removing the defender of the queen to the h7 pawn, which is what he does. Rook f8 check, queen takes f8, and the Black Death finishes the game with queen takes h7 checkmate. It's just a miniature. I thought you guys would enjoy that game, and I felt like it should be shown on my channel because I have seen a couple of Joseph Henry Blackburne's games, and they are kind of funny, but they are kind of fun to watch, and I think that's kind of a cool nickname to have. I wouldn't mind being called the Black Death if I was playing chess. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed that game, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.